Okay, good morning, everybody. Lord, we are chatty this morning, are we, folks? Good to see everybody in there. Let's do us a show. All right, and good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, and I'm gonna have to keep the schedule a little tight this morning because I gotta be in Peachtree City at 9:30 and then Thomaston at 11. I am shooting some damn houses today. But hey, Firearms Friday, and there are a few things in this world that I love more than shooting. That's why after I got out of the Army, I just missed shooting so much, I went and bought a bunch of cameras. It's working out for me so far, and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and open up with this first one. Oh, wait a minute. The article's goofy. Let me see why it's not behaving. There we go. All right, police. Man shot, killed after trying to break in to his ex's Gonzalez home. So hey, we got us a story of true feminism here. Apparently, Gonzalez, a man was shot multiple times while trying to force his way into his ex's apartment over the weekend, according to police. The Gonzales Police Department said Tuesday that 35-year-old Joshua Jones of Donaldsonville was initially hospitalized but later died from his gunshot wounds. Oh, that would be a DOT. It's one of those pieces of just delicious meme magic. The dead over there, DOT, bad guy makes it to the hospital, Department of Transportation. It's one of those wonderful meme magic pieces, like the whole Lord of Keck was a gag for the meme war and Gamergate, and then it turns out that there was actually an Egyptian god called Kek who was a god of chaos, and meme magic, just chef's kiss right there. So, we have us a DOT. The perpetrator made it to the hospital, but did not last there. Steve Rodemeyer rather correctly points out, you should teach your daughters to shoot. A restraining order is just a piece of paper. Hallelujah. And even for my youngest kids, we keep a pretty aggressive assortment of Nerf guns, and occasionally do a little shooting practice with the airsoft replicas as well. And I mean, yeah, the kids are going to be all right. So Jones reportedly tried to break into the apartment on South Lenoir Avenue late Saturday night, while the victim's new boyfriend was also inside. Police said Jones was shot as he tried to shatter the bedroom window. Police did not immediately say who fired the shots. No one is facing criminal charges at this time. An investigation into the shooting is ongoing. Oh, so this may not be the feminism story that I initially assumed based on the headline. There, it looks like the new boyfriend was also in the apartment, so this might actually be a story of good old white knighting. And ladies, get yourself a man who can draw and handle business. Find yourself a man who thinks you're pretty and can skin that smoke wagon. So, sounds like a clean shoot to me. Nice and simple and short. I think that's a solid, clean shoot, as near as I can tell. I mean, guys, there could always be a complicating factor that we don't know about, but normally, you know, if the details of the shoot are someone tried to break into the house and the people who lived there shot him. I mean, I can think of a few scenarios where there's some illicitness going on there, but it's hard to imagine that those details are present without making it into the police report. And in all fairness, credit where it's due, that's offering the police a hell of a lot of unearned faith. But there it is. You know, if there's some extraneous circumstance involved, like, oh, well, I was trying to break in because they stole my drugs. You're still trying to break in. Now, I was trying to break in because he stole my daughter. Okay, now there's a very different story. Danielle says, I have my man who can defend me, and I'm armed, always, unless I'm in the shower. Then my dog has my 6. So, I'm glad, Danny, I'm so glad you gave me that visual, because sometimes I find myself in the shower, right? I'm in the shower and I'm eating my chocolate chip cookie and you hear a noise down the hall. That picture's a little blurry. I'm not sure, but that I think that's a Mini 14. By the way, amusingly, if you Google shower gun right now, you have to get pretty far down the list before you see that one. But there's another favorite. Oh, okay. You know what? Just because Danny mentioned it, that's an older story. That's from 2019. But since I pulled up the shower gun, this is how the shower gun kind of made it into our hearts. In 2019, man breaks into house while homeowner taking shower. Close by shower gun comes in handy. When they say close by shower gun, this is the thing. It's, you know, he's got a little, looks like a 357 or a 38 special in a waterproof plastic case in the shower. There are many shower gun memes out there in the wild, and most people share them as a joke, poking fun at the times we're in the shower and hear a noise inside the house. Burglar? Cat knocked something off the table? You don't know. You're in the shower. Richard Weingartner's home was burglarized numerous times over the last few months, but it seems that he wasn't around when things went down. This latest burglary was different, though, as it happened while Weingartner was most vulnerable, in the shower. While in the shower, he heard someone inside his home. He quickly got out and called 911, while at the same time grabbing his gun that was in his gym bag. Okay, see, you tricked me. You fuckers tricked me. So his gun was in the gym bag, not suction cupped up on inside the shower. Just a few moments later, gunshots are heard. Weingartner said he held the man at gunpoint for as long as he could, which caught the stranger off guard. He tried to talk me into believing he was a great guy and he wasn't here to cause me any problems, which I found odd because, he already broke into the house, Weingartner told the News Sun. And yeah, buddy, if you're in my house uninvited and I've asked you to leave, right? Okay, you're in the house, you're not invited. By rights, you've already earned the 3 S's, shoot, shovel, and shut up. But if I'm polite enough to then ask you to leave, and you want to try and convince me that you're okay, son, not the one you want. Not the one you want. The intruder had run out of the house and tried to get away in a gray SUV. Weingartner fired shots at the SUV, trying to shoot out the tires. The fleeing suspect didn't get far, and police later found him at an intersection and arrested him. The suspect was identified as 38-year-old Jason Moak, and it would seem that Moak is the same person who broke into the home on the other occasions. Okay, now I'm super interested. I wonder why it is, it doesn't say, why it is that Moak broke into the same house multiple times. That's interesting. But Moak survived, unfortunately. And Steve points out that was a great bait and switch. Yeah, you're right, it was. Okay, so we covered the break-in in Gonzales. We snuck in the shower gun. I need to get me one of those. I think I need a shower gun and a kitchen gun. I think those are the only rooms that aren't currently covered. I mean, I just with the kitchen gun, I just figure, I'm in there, so there's a gun and knives. Police chief, father fatally shot suspect who tried to accost juvenile daughter. Okay. Before I read this story, you're going to have to come up with a whole lot of mitigating evidence before you find me on a jury with this headline not immediately advocating for jury nullification. Right, we talked about this a little bit on a show a week or 3 ago. Buddy, I've got 3 daughters. Please believe you. All other lives are forfeit. Don't ever doubt that. Wilson's Mills police say a father fatally shot a man who had just reportedly tried to accost his daughter. The shooting happened on Father's Day. In the Wilson's Mills city limits. Wilson's Mills police, aided by the Johnston County Sheriff's Office, responded to Parker Street at 9:03 Sunday for a report of a breaking and entering in progress with someone shot. Excuse me. Chief Williams said, based on the preliminary investigation, the suspect entered the backyard of the home where children were playing outside. The suspect allegedly tried to accost an 11-year-old girl. Other children ran inside the home and alerted the mother and father. Police said the suspect attempted to follow the children into the residence by pulling on the back door handle and shaking it violently. The homeowner and father shot the 23-year-old suspect, who died from his injuries. The name of the suspect is being withheld pending notification of next of kin. Why? This suspect, based on what I'm reading here, deserves no considerations, no respect, no courtesy announcement. Raise your kids, guys. I'm going to be cruel with this one. If your boy was shot by a father of young children because he was trying to accost, we'll use their word for this one, because he was trying to abduct for the most nefarious purposes you can imagine a prepubescent child. If your boy did that, you deserve an unceremonious notification in a low-tier headline. Raise your children. The Johnston County Sheriff's Office processed the scene and is investigating the deadly encounter. Sheriff's Captain Jeff Caldwell said Monday the investigation remains ongoing with the assistance of the Johnston County District Attorney's Office. Oh, damn. That's not, nope. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You go straight to hell. Okay. Guys, I think I got one more in me, and then I'll slap out a safety brief, and then unfortunately I've got to hit the road. So, numero cuatro. I might have two more in me because, okay, yeah, here we go. Police. Suspect shot during attempted burglary at home in Milo Grogan neighborhood. That's an interesting. It's Columbus, Ohio. Police say two suspects were arrested and charged with aggravated burglary. A suspect was shot when he allegedly attempted to break into a home in the Milo Grogan neighborhood late Saturday night, police said. Officers with the Columbus Division of Police responded to the 800 block of East 4th Avenue around 11:30 after receiving calls of a burglary and a shooting. Records from Franklin County Municipal Court state that two men, 24-year-old Dante Shields and 24-year-old Chase Featherolf, oh, that's a hell of a last name, arrived at the home armed with handguns because they had an issue with a man who lived there. So, remember we talked about what burglary is, and it doesn't necessarily involve the actual taking of anything. Simply entering the home is burglary. Even if you don't have to break and enter to enter the home, it's once you, so trespassing is entering and being in a place knowingly without permission or refusing to leave a place after being notified that you're not welcome. Burglary is entering despite barriers. So, you can be trespassing in the yard, but once you open a door and walk into the permanent structure, now you're burglaring. And that's important to remember. If the fence, like the story right before where the 23-year-old guy jumped the fence to accost the children, if the fence is connected to the house, that makes it a permanent part of the improved structure of the existing real estate, which means that if he had entered onto the curtilage outside of the fence, then he was trespassing if notified. But as soon as he crossed over the fence, he went from trespassing to burglary before there was ever even a question of the accosting. Assuming, because I'm not looking at the house, the fence could go around without touching it. But that's assuming that the house is and the fence are physically abutted or connected. Same thing, depending on whether or not there are tires on the car in the front yard, entering in with tires is potentially grand theft auto. Entering without tires is burglary, because once affixed to the property, if only by the weight of the structure, a structure becomes a fixed permanent improvement of the real estate. That goes for cars on cinder blocks. So officers with the Columbus Police Department responded to the 800 block handguns. And so these guys, apparently they came to the house because they had a problem with a man who lived there. Police did not say whether the victim knew the suspects, although that's a reasonable inference to make. Not a guaranteed, but not an unreasonable assumption. The victim, yes, the victim, that's the correct use of the word here. Congratulations, 10 TV, you've properly identified the parties, confronted the suspects at the front door and told them they needed to leave the property. Court records say Shields and Featherolf refused to leave and continued yelling and making threats toward the victim, who ran into the house. At that point, hey, you need to leave the property. They refused to leave. Now you are trespassing. You are in the act of committing a crime. Featherolf and Shields forced their way into the home, and a fight occurred between Featherolf and the victim's brother, according to court records. Police said Featherolf dropped his handgun during the fight. Okay, forced their way into the home. They've just gone from trespassing to burglary with an aggravating circumstance, connecting it to B&E, and armed while doing it. The victim pulled out a handgun, pointed at the suspect, and told them to leave, according to court records. After Shields and Featherolf left, they kicked down the front door after hitting it several times. When the front door opened, police said the victim fired his handgun, striking Featherolf once in the hip. Okay, so they went back outside. He closed the door. And then they tried to kick it. And then they tried to kick it in. So after the victim had produced his own firearm and basically asserted, hey, you are not welcome here. You need to leave. They walked outside and then came back. Buddy, that is a clean shoot right there. I can't imagine someone asking for it more directly without actually saying the words, kill me, kill me, kill me. That sounds pretty cut and dry, clean shoot right there. Good morning. It's a good morning. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it right there. I've got one more, but I don't have time to get into it because it's a little contentious, and I'd like to talk about it a little more than I can do it justice this morning. It's a longer article. So who knows? Maybe I'll pop up later this afternoon with it. So we are going into the weekend, guys. It's I don't know if y'all have noticed, but it's been a shitty, rainy, gross, nasty week. But we're going into the weekend. It is Friday. You got one more day at the desk, of course. It looks like today is going to be cloudy. It's not going to be all rainy and shitty like it has been all week. So, pay attention to where you're driving. Make sure you don't walk out of the house without strapping one on. And don't drive drink. Don't fry bacon naked. Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we will see you on Monday.